Happy 4th. I hope everybody had a good time. And today is not the 4th, but uh, I got to tune in to the White House. Wow, you were right there. No other president actually had this kind of openness with very intimidating reporters in the same room. I guess Donald Trump found a new room for this big gathering. I actually was a little nervous because you got everybody there, like the president, the vice president. You got some, you know, crazy reporters over there, but then you also got the Secretary of the Interior, the Commerce. You got everybody Ludnick. I mean, I like these guys, Lee Zeldin, and I'm like, and Wyckoff. I guess I'm a little nervous. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Not that God bless America, not that anything is gonna happen to them, but everybody was under the same roof. I don't want to give bad guys any ideas. Whew! However, hallelujah, it was a success, and I learned a lot. I never seen so much openness in the presidency. I think the comedian, I believe is Terrence Williams, and he said it the best. He said, "I used to watch the news just a little bit because it was boring. Like Joe Biden would go, ah." Where's Jockey? He'll take the rabbit to take him off the stage. But not with Donald Trump. It's like the playoffs every day. Playoff. No, seriously, there are so many playoff scenarios. You just don't know what's happening. It's like wheel within the wheel. It goes so fast. Well, my point is, I want to title this video like, hey, MAGA folks, lighten up, Francis. I couldn't believe there were so many, just negativity after the cabinet meeting today. After we have, I would say, the unbelievable, the most successful taking out Iranian nuclear missiles without one shot being fired at us, and these stealth B-2s. I mean, you're scaring the crap out of everybody in the world. They all want to pay up now. I mean, this is what's going to bring us success. That everybody in the world is going to look up to, Daddy, the Big Daddy, America. I just don't understand. Okay, so just go back there for a second. I mean, talked about the complexity, the B2, the stealth, and, you just have so many surrounding cast around it, our ships and the decoys, Dan Raising King, the master, the genius behind this warplane. That's what, the plan. Donald Trump wanted him to be the Joint Chief of Staff because he was the only one who was able to demolish the ISIS. Everybody's like, oh, we're so scared of ISIS. And it was going to take like 5-7 years. I mean, Trump talked about it all the time, right? And then this guy says 2 weeks, not 2 years, 2 freaking weeks. So if he's not the genius in, even better than Sun Tzu, I guess that's an ancient Chinese war master or whatever, they just planned it out so good with so-called a decoy. Nobody thought it was going to come out of Missouri. Everybody thought it was going to be, I mean, when I say everybody, I mean the enemies, because you don't think China's watching? Because they were ready to pounce, right? But Russia is like, if Iran actually went to Russia and met Putin. Putin just go like, yeah, I condemn all these actions from the United States, but Russia is not going to commit one morsel, one, just say a missile, or not even one bullet, and just shoot and send him off. So basically, that axle of evil from like China, Iran, Russia, because they've been sneaking around behind our back, like overthrow the superpower. Well, that of America, which was terribly weakened under these regimes, the Obama regime, and and then Obama, Biden regime, and thank God we're rescued. For one thing, I mean, my title of this little conversation is that, hey, all your so-called MAGA folks. I mean, I listen to them every day. I'm just fascinated to see what Benny Johnson has to say. Little memes, and that's not terribly tacky. Uh, Matt Morse, I guess, like one of the other channel I listen to, and they're just hounding on this one thing, Epstein file. I go, come on, they don't think about all the good stuff. We stopped the World War III, right? We demolished Iran and really bombed them back to the Flintstone ages in a sense with the nuclear capacity, but they all want to say, oh, no, it's not so, or not so great. No, they're not just denigrated, but when you say demolished and obliterated, it just means that if you ever seen the, footage, I mean, they're actually footage and not AI or anything. I mean, that, shoo, the B2 thing right on top of target without being even detected. Nobody. They went to so many countries. Everybody thought. I thought if it was a sneak attack, it was gonna come out of Diego, or there was like another place, because there are B2s all over the place. So it was like a decoy mission. China sent there are 2 ships. Did you know that? They had 2 big ships, like supposedly ready to go, because they're like, hey, we're a buddy, you're not heavy, you're my brother, that sort of thing, right? So China, Iran, and all these, Russia, they were like banded together, and of course in North Korea, because now North Korea, Kim Jong-un is like shaking his boots, and so like, oh my God, maybe they can target us, because Dane Kane, Raisin Kane, in fact, if you didn't hear what he was saying, he did say that. He said, because people were like trying to give him a hard time by saying, oh, you didn't, this was like a hasty operation. So he has to bring out the whole graph that this was planned 15 years ago. Like when Iran started building their so-called enrichment, nuclear weapon enrichment sites, we already got our eyes on them. And in the end, he even said that, not just Iran, they got their eyes on many, many places. That's why Kim Jong-un was like, oh my God. Well, we can just like, seriously. I know my friend even criticized about the budget, like defense spending or whatever, Pentagon spending and everything. I used to think the same thing, yeah, because we know we're not for war, and we don't want to start another war or whatever. But that's the thing. If you don't build up your muscle when you go to the gym, you're going to get punched in the face in the parking lot. Hey, I mean, I've seen it happen many times. I'm like, oh, wow. You just like, you get a couple of pounds over here, over there. Nobody fuck with you. Okay, so that costs time and money and a lot of creatine or whatever. So anyways, but you saw the power, the majestic power. I'm not saying it's faultless. Because B2 is very expensive. It's like $100 some billion each. Oh my God. But it's not detectable because the material, like, the stealth and just the design and everything. And nobody has it. I pray to God that they don't steal, because China tries to steal everything from us, right? Just on that alone. You make Kim Jong-un scared so much that he actually, he did like, oh, don't look over here. He did like, we're really just gonna develop our tourist industry. He after like this whole Iran event, he just took his daughter, like, check it out. We want everybody to come here like Disneyland or something. So it's not talking tough. Nobody's talking tough. You don't hear peep. Anyway, Putin, I say Putin, I know, Putin, he said that to the Iranian, I guess the defense minister that actually went to Russia, Moscow, and had a meeting like, oh, we need help, emergency meeting. And Putin met with this guy, but he says, yeah, we severely condemn the action of Americans, but we're not gonna, he basically said, we're not sparing like one bullet or not $1 and to defend or so-called event to retaliate, right, against the United States. So you know what? They're shaking. Talk about they're shaking their boots, and that's winning us. Not just the war, like the so-called the trade war. It's not a trade war. It's just like it is true. Why do we have to pay such a heavy duty, heavy tariff to other countries? You know, I mean, what did they get? Get us cheese and wine, or from France, and some escargots, and then they can give us all this stuff, and we don't charge them $1 to sell their shit, so they make 100% of their profit. And we're just saying, hey, what's fair? You're making 100% profit. How about tariffs called 25%? And well, because you're charging us 50%, we'll try to sell you something you don't buy it all for, you know. That's what Donald Trump was saying. You don't buy anything from us, but you get away with, like, you know, ripping us off. And then you don't pay no tariff, and so now everybody got to pay up. It's fair, it's fair. You're charging me 10%, charging you 10%. I don't know. What's a fucking fuzz? What is a fuzz, baby? And so many good things. Not just I could not believe it. The big beautiful bill passed on the 4th of July. He signed it into. I guess it's not perfect, but he did sign it into law. Which should give us more money for the border. And Sean Duffy, I think, you know, the with the air traffic control, he did go into detail, like how Buttigieg fucked up the whole system. They were trying to put copper with fiber, which don't work. They contracted like 5,000 different contractors, and nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. They're always blaming each other. You're late, we're going to charge you $5 million, and nothing works. So this is to prevent the whole entire system. Remember the air control that we said we're so concerned that it was antiquated, and of course the Democrats don't know what the fuck they're doing. How can I say that? I knew. I lived in Hawaii, and now I live in California. It's the same fucking thing. The so-called rebuilding. They hire people smoking weed day and night. They're rebuilding that little section, not even like a couple mile, like 71. I go to Chino to see my mom. I said, I dread, because they were supposed to enlarge the 71 from one section, like going towards Pomona Freeway, but like to Chino Grand Avenue, from what's the town before that? Was it Glendora or something? And it was just 2-lane, and it's not even 2 miles. That's supposed to be expanded from 2-lane each side to 4 because it was so congested. But you know what? Came and went. I mean, it was like people died because the design or temporary with the ballards right in your face. It was so bad. There was no illumination. People literally died. I saw like Christmas. I asked my friend to go. They said, no, I don't want to go visit your mom. No matter if she buys me the biggest tomahawk steaks. You know, it's true because, you know, they can't see shit. So every time you get on that 71, that they expand, and it's been ongoing for 7 years. They suck down hundreds of millions of dollars, and you don't know where they change the exit. You don't know where you're getting off. You're getting off on some mountaintop. I mean, that's how they do business. And I lived in Hawaii. It was worse. There was one freeway. Hawaii's so small, and it's never built. It's supposed to be one freeway. They can never build it because you know what? They're sucking in all your money, and they go, oh yeah. Well, nobody says anything. Let's just take some more. But this is totally different. So I want to get to the point that why all the so-called the MAGA, ultra MAGA. I know I'm quoting what's his name? Obama, Biden. Pardon. You know, you say ultra MAGA, you ultra MAGA. Again, Matt Morris, I think I watched Benny Johnson, you know, seemingly they're very patriotic and everything. But, you know, I know this, also with Elon Musk, of course, you know, fell out of grace. That's another long story. It's this whole thing, it's a big drama. Anyway, so he wants to start his own party or whatever. But this is all they can see out of everything. That all they talked about is a damn Epstein list. They're so obsessed. I'm not saying don't worry about it. I mean, even Donald Trump said today, that's all you're obsessed about. There's so many things, right, that we're focusing on. But all that, okay, let's just say, what will Epstein list help us? I mean, I'm not trying to defend anybody because, yeah, of course, it's a crime. Who killed Epstein or whatever? There was a lot of all that speculation, and there's still the Ghislaine Maxwell that's still in prison for child trafficking, and you're giving opportunity to somebody like, now I just say that somebody like Elon Musk. Oh my God, I thought he was an ally. Just how quickly they can turn on you. But that's all good. In the Bible times, Paul was arguing with other disciples, and then they went separate ways. They were so angry at each other, they went separate ways. But it turned out for the good because they spread gospel like even more than just the Roman Europe Empire, like went to Africa and all that kind of stuff. So everything worked together for the good, right? For the good for those who trust in the Lord Jesus. He got his hand on this. But I'm just saying the worst case scenario with the Epstein list. Let's just say we already know Prince Andrew was on it because he fell out of grace, right? Because, he was a pedo. So Jeffrey Epstein was like maybe taking pictures, blackmailed them, like compromised positions, or I don't know, child pornography or whatever it is. Let's just say the worst case scenario. Because if you want to implicate Donald Trump, say Donald Trump was on the list, of course he used to invite everybody into not Mar-a-Lago, whatever he used to live, into the party circles, and but I don't want to just say defend Donald Trump on this. Let's just say the worst case scenario, because Bill Clinton, he's in it, definitely with a purple dress and Monica Lewinsky look on his face, right? Cross-dressing in Epstein's living room and all that. Let's just say Obama. Everybody got dirt, right? Bill Gates for sure got dirt, right? Because it caused his divorce, right? And Clinton. Who else that you can think of that is on so-called Epstein list? I don't even know what that means. It means just people he has dealing with, or does it mean that people he flew to the Little St. John and have actually like wild orgy sex parties with, people, or when I say like children or minors, who knows? Because I guess it was 18 or whatever, right? So, because I know with Prince Andrew is this young Russian player. I'm not sure how old was she, maybe 17, 18, something like that. So, worst case scenario, they just say, Donald Trump is guilty. What you gonna do? You're just gonna lock him up. I mean, because that's all I can see on X every day. It's like, nobody's been locked up yet. Like, okay, it's been like 100 days. I can't believe that everybody's like a bunch of spoiled brats. My God, I'm pretty spoiled right now. Okay? I will count the wins. I'm not saying that don't look at that particular matter, but what really matters is our lives. My life is a little better, even though I live in California, but thank God, RFK or Lizzo, then somebody stop the damn chemtrail flights. I'm not joking. The geoengineering, the freaking lines, the planes that fly by every day. I was really distraught. I actually posted the videos. I was like, stop this shit. It totally, even up to I guess was the Easter. I still have videos like going straight across. I mean, hey, call me whatever you want to, but I can breathe in those shit and cause asthma and all kinds of deterioration in your immune system, because I guess was a health ranger they got close and they got a lab test of what was in so-called geoengineering or environmentalist, the chemtrail flights, in which they got billions of dollars from the Biden, the Obama money, the environmental cooks. They were flying these planes like no tomorrow and spraying us like freaking bugs. And the material in there were nanoparticles of Barium 12. I'm not an expert, but it's a nuclear waste. Not just lead and cadmium and, all the bad stuff, the mercury, and all this stuff are coming down. It's not just lines in the sky. Anyway, so I'm looking out just to make sure there's no lines. I'm not quite sure what's out there. It could be cloud, could be lines, but oh my God, don't tell me that as soon as I give them praise and the lines are back. No, but what I'm trying to say is they're getting things done. Oh, okay, that's important. And he who have never sinned to cast the first stone. Let's just say worst case scenario, Donald Trump, not just only on the Epstein list, whatever. He actually, did the worst case scenario that was caught on tape. Okay, I'll give you that much. But shut the fuck up, alright? We got so many things we got to do, right now we still have to win. We got to win. Win. That's the most important thing. Get Powell to lower that damn interest rate. Because, again, I don't know about you, man. I mean, it's pretty tough. I mean, Trump even made a case. They borrow, meaning Joe Biden, in order to pay off Stacey Abrams. Just say one group. And they, so-called environmental reason, they had $100 in their checking account. They opened an NGO, so-called in your non-governmental agency. That's how they launder all the money from the government by getting the so-called the grants for the Green New Scam. $200 billion, so $20 billion here and there. It's like here. It's free money. It's on taxpayer. That's why, if you don't remember, inflation was going through the roof. I was nervous every time I go to the grocery. When Donald Trump, came to the office, he said people are screaming about eggs. I know, I was one of them. Because Joe Biden killed off all the chickens, and then he was killing off all the cows too. Not only no eggs was $10 a dozen. I don't know, how could you have such a short memory? And I'm like, so nervous. I go, oh, milk is going up by another $1 a gallon. I mean, just things like that. It's only because the government was printing money like no tomorrow. If you and I were printing money and spending them, that's cheating. That's a crime. That will land us in federal prison. Counterfeit money. Remember the left, their idol is George Floyd, the BLM. They burned down the city. Okay, if you don't remember George Floyd, you know why? The little grocery store or 7-Eleven type of little store called the police on George Floyd. Because he was trying to pass a fake $20 bill. That's why they called the police on him. So I'm just using that little analogy. If the government can print all the money, because hey, some of the Haitians said they got loaded in their so-called the EBT cards like $80,000. Literally. It's free to them. They can print all the money. They can load them up. Right? Here's 80,000, here's 80,000. You got everybody from, let's just say Congo, Haitian, I don't know, whatever it is. I mean, that's not like political incorrect. Just anybody that's outside of your family, you're giving them free money. When I have to spend $200, how can I compare with their $80,000 of fat EBT card? I can't. That's why we're so nervous that they go, that's okay. We'll just print more. They're stealing from us. So at least we're stopping the stealing, for crying out loud. I mean, I don't know why Johnson or Benny Johnson, Matt Morris don't have anything good to say about this. Also, this flexing of this superpower. My God, this is unbelievable. The B-2, and the pilots. It is unbelievable. Oh man, you know what? It's just I don't know if you saw the movie Stripes. My favorite line is, "Lighten up, Francis." Okay, that's really it. Just lighten up. Just look forward. Yeah, you can have your bitchy moments, but look forward. Donald Trump has unbelievably really handed us so many wins. So many freaking wins. So focus on that for just a little bit, will you?